Hello everybody and welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today I am bringing you a very exciting review and it's going to be about 4, 5, 6, 7 new products from Sappho. I don't know if it's technically the summer collection, but I'm calling it the summer collection because it's beautiful peachy shades that are perfect for the summertime. So I'm going to sort of give you a rundown. We're going to swatch, I'm going to review, and then my next video is going to be a tutorial featuring all of these products. So if you caught the preview in my what's new video and you like warm colors, you probably got super excited like myself, and I'm very happy to report that the collection is just darling. So let's just get right into it. Let's start with the blush just because there is only one. All of Sappho's blushes, they do retail for $25. Now the pan on these is not huge, but that is not something that I mind because I've never gone through an entire pan of blush. Let's just be honest, you guys. And this is coming from someone where do I have more blushes than I can ever possibly use? Yes. But compared to a lot of people, do I have a lot of blush? No. So I don't know if that helps your case at all, but anyway, the new blush is in the most gorgeous shade called Natalie. Now, as you can see, it's a super light, peachy shade. Super true peach. There's no pink in there, not even a little bit. Very, very warm. Very, very pale. So this shade, unfortunately, is not going to work for everybody, but if you have a very fair to maybe light medium complexion, this blush is something you can get down with. Like all of Sappho's blushes, I think Sappho has really nailed their blush formula as far as getting the texture just right with not a lot of kick up in the pan at all, as well as being really, really high in pigment, especially for such a light shade. The texture of it is nice and soft. I really like shades like this. Actually, I really like to do a more monochromatic look, especially when I'm going orange. It is pretty monochromatic today, but this with the eyeshadows in the collection are great. Of course, because this is a powder, I like to use this sort of in the mix with the eyeshadows too. So it's sort of a 2-for-1 if you like this sort of shade. It does have a decent amount of depth to it, but it's just a really light, peachy shade. Not quite a pastel, but on pastel's doorstep, that's for sure. But the texture of it is very, very consistent with the other shades, which is Emma's Blush and Toots, I believe. And this is a nice addition because those two are much more cool toned or just completely pink. So this is a really nice addition to the bunch, and I'm really excited to meet you, Natalie. Thank you so much for joining the family. Moving along to the eyeshadow, shall we? I'm gonna go lightest to darkest, I think. The first eyeshadow is the shade Monica, and Monica is a shade I can see myself using on an every single day basis. It's this really beautiful, light, peachy shade. It has like almost like a whiteness to it, but it still has that peachy warmth. These type of shades, this reminds me of an eyeshadow from Saint that I use on an almost everyday basis as well, but these ingredients are a lot better. All of the Sappho eyeshadows, blushes, the whole collection is completely vegan, by the way. I'm so sorry I didn't preface with that. And all the eyeshadows are $21. So the eyeshadows are 1.8 grams, and then the blush is 3.5 grams, so almost double in size. So this is beautiful. I really, really like this shade. I like to lay it down as an all-over lid shade. It will give a really nice brightening effect. You can put it on the brow bone to blend it out. That's what I've done today. Absolutely great, great shade. They do have a really good bone shade as well already in the collection, but if you like something a little warmer, oops, women of color, I think this would look a little bit nicer on you as well. Definitely can get down with that one. Next shade is the shade Jessica, and Jessica, upon looking at it, it looks quite similar to Monica, but it does have a little bit of a shine to it. So it's not super sparkly, it's just a little bit. This is the only one where I don't quite love it as much as the others, but it is really pretty. I just think it's even more subtle and natural. I like to lay down this one last if I'm gonna put it over the eyelid, just for that little kiss of sort of like glitz to the eye. It's really, really subtle. So anyone who wants a little bit of a sheen, but isn't like a big glitter fan, can't relate, but if you are, I know you're out there, this might be a good one to experiment with because it's a very wearable color. It almost has a more satin look to it, but you do see the glitter but when I'm looking on the back of my hand, it picks up like a sheen. It's really confusing, but you guys will see in the cutaway exactly what I'm talking about. It just sort of picks up the light really nicely, and putting anything that picks up light on the eyelid is really great because you sort of want to bring the lid forward and then recede the crease. That's why we put something darker usually in the crease and a lighter shade on the eyelid, unless it's a smoky eye, then it's all dark colors. But this is a great one. It's really beautiful, not my favorite in the collection, but I could see its place and why someone would really like it. Moving along to my favorite, hate to pick favorites, but you're my favorite, Victoria. It is the most gorgeous, rich shade. And what I could say about all of these, they're all really consistent with all the other Sappho shadows as well. Very similar to the blush formulation. I mean, there's like little to absolutely no fallout. Great pigmentation. It's not streaky, it's not patchy. It goes on lovely, you guys. Seriously, Sappho makes some of my favorite shadows. You know, I love the shade Beckett. Beckett in the crease with this would be great, but it's just a true orange brown shade, pulling way more orange than anything else. It's like a true sienna. I have it on my eyelid today, like the color terracotta, that's what it is. So I have it all over my eyelid today, that with a little bit of Natalie in the crease, no big deal. What this collection is definitely missing for me is an in-between shade, because we have like super light, dark color. If there was a transition shade that was like this, but a little lighter, oh my God, that's sort of where Natalie comes in, but Natalie could even be a little bit darker if she was gonna be an eyeshadow. But Victoria's my favorite. I think a lot of us are really gonna love that shade. If you like warm colors, I mean, it's a staple, it's a press shadow, it's amazing. Finally, we have the shade Merity, and Merity is named after a wonderful beauty blogger, that is her namesake, and Merity is a beautiful blue shade. Blues are tricky, always, especially in green beauty, but this one is so wonderful. It's not like drop dead, oh my God, there's so much pigment, I'm gonna pull it across my arm for a week, but it's buildable, it's not patchy, it looks really amazing, and I do feature this in the tutorial that will be coming after this video. Quickly, I wanted to compare it to Kjaer Weis Blue Wonder for you, so if you're like, do I need this blue shadow? Which one's better than the other? Kjaer Weis Blue Wonder is a little bit more pigmented, I would say, and it's also a little bit deeper. So if you want something maybe a little bit more full on, go with the Kjaer Weis, or just something with a little bit more depth. This is sort of like a more muted version, but the tone of them is quite similar. It's gonna come down to what formula you like better. I think I might prefer the Sappho as far as the blue is concerned. Kjaer Weis makes some of my favorite other shadows, but I really love the Merity shade. And I think paired with the Kjaer Weis liner smudged out, it's gorgeous and beautiful formulation on that one as well. So what more could you ask for? I did also want to say all of the Sappho products, they come in these sleeves that say the name across the top, so you will need to invest in a little bit of a Z palette. Z palettes are fantastic. They come in a bunch of different sizes, shapes, varieties, whatever. It's basically a see-through palette where you can see everything, completely customizable. Kjaer Weis shadows come in refills. I have a full palette of Kjaer Weis as well. And you open it up, everything's magnetized, and you could just stick all of your things right in nice and conveniently. So I would look into that as well, and I will link that down below as well. Okay, you guys, let's round out the review with the glosses. I'm a lip gloss girl. We know this, and Sappho released 2 new shades. Their names are right here on the edge. They have a little window on them where you can see the color, and it's the actual true color. I love that, Sappho. I love that, because sometimes the sticker on the bottom just isn't quite true to the shade, which it'll give you an idea, but if you have like 4 pinks, you're like, what's what? This is the most accurate way possible, I think. And even though these shades are similar, I can tell the difference between them. So big ups to Sappho for that. Mind you, we have 2 shades. We have these shades Christine. Christine is just the most beautiful, pale, peachy shade. If you like nudes, you might die for her. She's gorgeous. It's not too pale though. It does have a decent amount of color to it, but it is more along that pale vein. So peachy. It could not be any more peach. It is like a piece of a peach. It is the peachiest. It's beautiful. If you like warm colors, it's great. What I like about both of these shades is I don't find they pull out a lot of yellow in the teeth, which can sometimes be the case with corals, with oranges, with anything like that. So this is great. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the formulation in a minute. I just wanna share the colors. Then we have the shade Amy. Amy is what I have on my mouth today. She's a little bit deeper, and by a little bit I mean quite a bit. This is for my women who like a little bit more oomph on a more everyday basis. This is very similar to the shadow Victoria. It sort of reminds me of that, and that's sort of what I have going on today. I said I like the monochrome look. I wasn't lying. Anyways, the formulation of the Sappho glosses, I don't know if I've swatched them all in a video before. Maybe that's what I need to do. Please do let me know. But it's very interesting. So they have quite a bit of color to them and not a lot of shine. But I like that if something's gonna have a lot of color. Because if it's sticky, if it's thick, these are not thick, like, you know, it feels like I'm wearing like a mousse on my lips. So it's not quite as like cushiony as like a thick glow lip serum, let's say. Or like a Lily Lolo lip gloss if you're familiar with that. But it's not as like gloopy as like, I don't know. What am I thinking of? What lip glosses have a ton of pigment that are a little more slippery? I don't know why it's escaping me, but think of one that you're familiar with and you're like, oh, I don't really like that, it's gonna get all over my teeth. This is sort of the perfect in-between. It doesn't really shift and move around a ton. It almost has like a dry down aspect to it, but not a matte lipstick whatsoever. I mean, it's on my lips today. You can tell it's not flat at all whatsoever, but I think they kind of nailed it if they're gonna make them this pigmented. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm just really into this color, Amy, right here. So I think it's great. Bottom line is, I think if you're familiar with the Sappho line, it's super consistent with the rest of it, which is great. Some of the Sappho shadows to me get a little bit inconsistent when they start adding shimmer, but as far as the mattes, they do some of the best mattes on the market. I'm not gonna lie to you at all whatsoever. Oh, and the glosses, they're 25 bucks a piece as well, also vegan. But I love the consistency, I love the pigment, I love the feel. I think it's a great introduction to Sappho if you like these more warm shades as well. Any other supplemental Sappho videos I have, I'll link them down below so you can sort of see what's the best for you. But these are new additions and they're really, really exciting ones, you guys. I'm really into this collection. I can't say much about it besides the shimmer and the eyeshadows, maybe a little gritty. But again, it doesn't pick up like that on the eyes. It's a mystery to me. I'm just sort of sharing the info with you. Great, great lines from Sappho at a premium price point, of course, but if you know what you like, these are definitely worth investing in and are made with beautiful ingredients. And of course, you can always trust that it's vegan, which is fantastic. I will include swatches of all these products down below for you guys to check out further in case you were curious. I'm gonna have all product links, ingredients lists, and price points down there as well. I'll have whatever makeup I'm wearing down below too. Make sure you subscribe and give the video a big thumbs up so I know you enjoyed this makeup review of mine. I hope you did. If there's any other makeup you want to see reviewed, I mean, come on. That's kind of what I do around these parts. All you have to do is ask. But not only that, if you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe, you will always be notified when I upload here twice weekly, and I don't want you guys to miss anything that I upload, so please make sure that you do that. Tell all your friends and family about Integrity Botanicals, your one-stop green beauty shop. We have everything, and I've reviewed everything, so take a look at our channel and enjoy. But thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for watching. You can always check us out on social media if you don't see me here. That's always linked down below as well, just before whatever makeup I am wearing. And thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!